RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. National Chocolate Pudding Day. It is today.
It is what it is.
Yeah, get a little celebration in there for the day. That's enough celebrating for this morning. Moving right along. Markets. What are we doing in the markets there? Well, they come back a little bit. We're up 48 points in the markets. We were up a bit higher than that a little earlier in the day or in the trading session. Today we were up over 100 points. Now came back to the line, and now we're back at up 48. Oil prices, they're up 45 cents per barrel. Well, we've been watching the oil prices. They're still down near some pretty serious lows on that crude oil. $43.48 a barrel as we're speaking right now. $2.26.2 per gallon of gasoline. That's the national average according to AAA. $2.95.9 right here in the state of confusion. We are second highest in the country, although I did hear, was it $1.927 was the lowest number I've seen, $1.927. That's in South Carolina. Yeah, maybe they don't believe in taxing quite as much as we do here.
Nothing like a little air superiority.
Yeah, in California, we think we're superior on everything. Our legislature thinks they know best on everything. Although, I guess our courts got a smackdown today. I'll talk about that in just a minute, how the courts did get a smackdown here in California. The U.S. 10-year Treasury, 2.12 is the yield, down almost 3 basis points, 2.12. That means that we should see a decrease in some of our mortgage-backed securities and mortgage interest rates. You might be happy about that number. That's doing a little bit better there for some people. But I am looking at the mortgage-backed securities. The securities themselves are up, which means rates are down. We like that when the rates are going down a little bit. It helps individuals get some good information. It helps individuals accomplish their goals. That's what we're all constantly looking for. Speaking of goals, though, I mean, the Supreme Court, they decided that they were going to hear the travel ban case, which is good news. More important than hearing the travel ban case, they did say they lifted the stay that was put on by the Ninth Court of Appeals, the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court. Not uncommon, the U.S. Circuit Court here, Ninth Circuit, very frequently is overturned. I think it's about 85% of the time they are overturned. So they obviously, I think when you're wrong 85% of the time, you have to wonder, do they know the Constitution? What is their issue? Or are they just trying to legislate from the court? I'm going to suggest that they're trying to legislate from the court to put out their methods or their beliefs, their philosophies, as opposed to simply interpreting the law, which is what their job is to do. Their job is not to make law, especially when it comes to the Constitution. That's already been made. They're supposed to be going and following what the Constitution has to say, and apparently they have some problems with that on a regular basis. So that is just the issues that we're seeing right there coming out of the Supreme Court. There's a lot of information coming from the Supreme Court today. We saw the Missouri school, easy for me to say, the Missouri school that was trying to get public funding for part of their playground, and the state said, no, we can't do that, you don't qualify. Well, the Supreme Court said, yes, you do. So that's a little bit of good news coming out of the Supreme Court. They agreed to hear a whistleblower case. They are going to take a bakery refusing to cater same-sex weddings. They're going to take that case. Interesting information there. That's, that's going to be a tough case, because if you're granting rights to one group, are you taking them away from another group? That's the question mark that comes from that whole case. It'll be very interesting to see what the Supreme Court comes up with on that one. We're also looking and waiting to see. There was some question marks as to whether Justice Kennedy was going to retire, and apparently they thought that might be coming out in their lunch today. But I don't think I've seen any news come across on that one, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. Again, the Supreme Court coming up with a lot of these different issues. They rejected a gun rights repeal, so not going to hear that case. Very interesting information. And we saw today that the Bernie Sanders and his wife both lawyering up.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Fraud cases for both of them. Be interesting to see what happens on those cases as well. And obviously the big story of the day continues to be healthcare. What's going to happen on the healthcare issues? That's the big discussion in the Supreme Court today. A lot of interesting individuals piping in on this one, and I think some of them, I'm very glad to see that the Majority Leader McConnell said they're going to vote on Thursday. I hope he does. I'd love to see him put some of these senators who said they're going to vote to save the medical community, and see if he's going to really put them on notice to whether they're going to say, yes, they will help out, or they're going to join the Democrats in being obstructionists. And that's all it is. Senator Rand Paul, nothing more than an obstructionist. If he doesn't get his own way, he's going to go and cry. Doesn't get, I shouldn't say that. If he doesn't get everything his way. You see that the health care bill, what we have now is basically imploding. I just saw that, I think it's Wisconsin, has exactly one health care provider for the entire state. Is that a free market system? And the big issue here is nothing more than handouts. That's all the whole issue is about. It's all about handouts. Are they going to get more handouts, or are they not going to give more handouts? That's the entire issue. It's all about Medicare. Now, should we have Medicare for those people that need it? Absolutely. I'm a big believer that we should have a safety net. But when you start increasing the amount of people who claim they need it by this significant number in a very short period of time, I have to start wondering, do they really need it, or are they just not wanting to go to work? That's the big question of the whole issue. Now, you see the big donors, Koch brothers, they're coming out saying that the plan doesn't go far enough. Well, you got to do what can get through. That's the issue right here. I understand that a lot of conservatives want to get rid of the entire Obamacare plan. Well, until there's 60 senators, it's not going to happen, or the rules are changed, one or the other. So you got to take what you can get. Why would you get rid of good because you want great? Just a thought right there. Governor Kasich, obviously we already know that he's a crybaby. He came out and is certainly, you got to wonder about about everything with him. And I was a supporter of Kasich until I saw that if again, another one of those, that if you don't get everything you want, you pick up your marbles and you go home. Now, he's a sore loser. He lost to Donald Trump in the preliminary elections, in the primaries. And so he decided, well, you know something, I'm going to sit out, which in essence gave his support to Hillary Clinton. Now, is that the one that you really want to be following, as somebody that thought that Hillary Clinton was a better option than Donald Trump? Now, I'm not saying Trump is the greatest. I'm just saying of the options, I think he was much better. And then there's Rand Paul on Sunday criticizing the current Senate health reform, but left open that he'd vote for a measure that'd be something less than a complete repeal of Obamacare. You know, so you're going to vote against this one? Is that the issue? That's my big question. Is he going to vote? And that's why I'm so excited that I hear that McConnell's going to bring it to a vote. Let's see if this is what's on the table. Now, the other issues, the other items that Senator Paul might think is better, well, maybe they are better. Maybe there are other options. But this is what's on the table. Get something through, get help to the people, and then try and improve it over time. The more you can improve it, the better it'll be. That's the whole issue. So we'll see. And you got to love it. The Congressional Budget Office says they're going to come out with their scoring of the new measure. Now, here's the issue on that one. They're not very good at forecasting. They can look and say, what is the budget impact going to be? But how are they going to know? And under the Obamacare program, they said 24 million people would be getting insurance, and it's turned out to be like 9 million. So the question that I pose here on this one again, how are they going to understand? How are they going to know? Now, they might tell us that it may do this or that to the budget, but the last time they came out, they said 23 million people would lose coverage over the next decade. Well, does it mean they're going to lose coverage, or does it mean that they're not going to be forced, and I really mean that, forced to buy something that they don't want? Big difference in those two terms. A lot of people don't want the coverage, so why should they be forced to buy it? Now, I said this when it came to the Great Recession. There is a cost of risk. Why is it that we should have, when you have insurance, to be cut off of insurance because of a pre-existing illness, or to not have the transportability because of a pre-existing illness? I think I can understand parts of that. But when you're saying that I consciously did not go and get insurance, and now that I need it, somebody else has to pay my bill for me, I got a problem with that one. I'm not a big fan of this whole idea of saying, I didn't pay for it, and now because I did not be responsible, I did not act responsibly, the shareholders of some insurance company...
Officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher. If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990 in the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T to 79564, NEST, N-E-S-T to 79564. One of the real estate professionals will get you set up on a home search so you can find your dream home before someone else does. Think about this concept. You put in the parameters of where you want to live, the zip code or the address or bedroom count, bathroom count, price, all these different details that are needed, and you're going to get a text message anytime a home comes on the market that meets your criteria. On top of that, you can also be set up so that whenever a home sells in your neighborhood, you get notified so you can take a look at what the property values are. We've talked about this in the past. Over 84% of people in California have significant equity in their homes. Over 84%. How do we define significant equity? It's defined as having more than 20% equity. So you've got people that have equity, and then they're worried about how are they going to sell their homes or what their homes' values are, because the other side of that is only 37% of the people realize they have significant equity. NEST, N-E-S-T to 79564, will give you that information. And today we're going to talk about myths holding back home buyers. And this is according to Realtor.com's recent article, Home Buyers' Top Mortgage Fears, Which One Scares You? They mentioned that 46% of potential home buyers fear they won't qualify for a mortgage to the point that they don't even try. So myth number one, I need a 20% down payment. And we know that that is a myth because you and I have talked about this before, that buyers overestimate the down payment funds needed to qualify for a home loan. Yeah, that's why it's a myth. According to the first quarter 2017 Home Ownership Program Index from Down Payment Resource, saving for a down payment was the barrier that kept 70% of renters from buying. Rob Crane, CEO of Down Payment Resource, had this to say, and I quote, "There are many mortgage-ready renters today, but they don't know it. Often, home buyers remain sidelined for years due to the down payment," unquote. Many believe that they need at least 20% down to buy their dream home, but programs are available that allow buyers to put as little as 3% down. Many renters may actually be able to enter the housing market sooner than they ever imagined with the new programs that have emerged, allowing less cash out of pocket. And we're going to talk a little bit in a minute about some of the down payment options and the low down payment options. But myth number two, I need a 780 FICO score or higher to buy a home.
You know better than that.
Absolutely. The survey revealed that 59% of Americans either don't know, 54% of them, or are misinformed, 5%, about what FICO score is necessary to qualify. Many Americans believe a good credit score is 780 or higher. Well, 780 or higher is a good score. But there are lower scores that are good too. To help debunk this myth, we're going to talk about Ellie Mae's latest Origination Insight report, which focuses on recently closed loans. That means the loans were approved and closed. So on the FICO score, now remember, this is not the Vantage score. This is not the score that you're getting from some of the bureaus that don't want to pay for FICO. If you hear somebody say, "We'll give you your credit score," you have to really wonder what you're getting. If they tell you that you're getting a FICO score, then you have to just ask, is it a FICO score for a mortgage? Is it a FICO score for auto? Is it a FICO score for credit card, credit collectors? They all use different FICO models. And some of them are using very, very old models, which is the norm. Here's one for you. CreditCheckTotal.com. CreditCheckTotal.com. I think that if you can go there, get all three of your true FICO scores. I think it costs you $1 for the first month. CreditCheckTotal.com gets you the real FICO score, and it's a soft pull. The difference, again, a soft pull versus a hard pull. Hard pull goes against your credit score. It doesn't have a huge impact. The amount of inquiries counts for about 10% of your score. So if you think about that, and you've got an 850 perfect score, most of us, I've never seen one, but if you start from the 850 perfect score, and this has a 10% impact, which is about 55 points, and that's only if you do a lot of credit pulls. Well, then you would be down to 795. That's still an excellent, great credit score, and from a scoring standpoint is never going to hinder you. Now, there may be other items that can hinder you, but a 795 FICO will get you approved for anything that's just using FICO scoring. Now, it doesn't say anything about your income. It doesn't say anything about your debt-to-income ratios, but it does say that your likelihood of paying your bills over the next 90 days is very high. But let's look at what these recently closed scores tell us. Well, about 54% of the loans, 54% of closed loans were under 750. 54% under 750. 53.2% went from 600 to 749. 53.2. So the bottom line as far as this part of it, the myths, is whether you're buying your first home or moving up to your dream home, knowing your options will make the mortgage process easier. And your dream home may already be within your reach. Now let's think about this concept. This is something that is unique to our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. They have a fast pass approval. Did you note that I did not say pre-approval? It is a fast pass approval. So they're going to collect all the documents that are needed for your loan. Then they're going to send it over to the underwriter. The underwriter is going to give the loan officer or the loan officer team a conditional approval. They're going to say that we're missing this, this, and this. The loan officer team can then collect those additional documents, send it back, and get an approval, fast pass approval. Now, what does that mean to you? That means that now you can go out and shop for a home within the parameters of that approval, and you can have your real estate professional eliminate the loan contingency portion of your credit, of the purchase offer. Consider that. No loan contingency. There's a special box on there for them to check on the residential purchase agreement. In California, it's box J4. Now go and ask the big banks whether you can check box J4, or your real estate professional can be checking box J4 on their loan approval. Yeah, they're calling that a pre-approval because they haven't sent it to the underwriter. There's a loan officer that has probably done what's called an automated underwriting system. They've run it through either the desktop underwriter or loan processor. And those are technical terms. You don't really need to know about those. But they've run them through those different programs, those processes. And they've been told, yes, based on this information, you qualify. But here's the key to it. Garbage in, garbage out. And I'm not saying anybody's putting garbage in. What I am saying is you can get an approval that might be a little bit misleading. And what do I mean by misleading? Well, the issue there is that if you don't have the total underwriting approval, the underwriter has gone and validated all the data that's been put in by the processing team or the loan officer team. That's the big difference, is the validation portion. Whenever you go and get a loan, a mortgage, or any other sort of a loan, you fill out an application, and there might be some supporting documents that are collected from the team that's collecting or taking your application. But here's the issue. What you really need to be doing there is it's all got to be validated before it goes to the next step. That's the big difference between getting a DU, LP, or an AUS approval versus the fast pass approval that is unique to Gold Star Mortgage. So if you want to meet them, give me a call. I'll put you in touch with the team. That is the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Got a little bit of news coming in. The manufacturing, and not such great numbers this morning. New orders for key U.S.-made capital goods unexpectedly fell in May, and shipments also declined, suggesting a little bit slowing of the momentum in the manufacturing sector halfway through the second quarter. The Commerce Department said on Monday that non-defense capital goods orders, excluding aircraft, closely watched proxy for business spending, dropped 0.2%, the largest decline since December. Now here's an issue, because I've had quite a few people reach out to me on social media, and they make this comment or they make this assertion that what has President Trump done to help the economy? That this is all just smoke and mirrors. Well, here's the answer to that question. Sometimes doing nothing or getting rid of something is better than doing something new. There can be benefits to those actions right there. So sometimes that part of it alone is where the real benefit comes in, and you want to just take note of some of those things. There's a benefit of doing absolutely nothing. So now when we're starting to see some of the items that we want to see happen, such as healthcare, etc., Well, now we start ending up looking at what's going on. What is the Congress doing with this? Are they going to get it done or are they not going to get it done? We want to know the same thing about tax reform. Are they going to get it done or are they not going to get it done? Just some thoughts there on the information coming in. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, U.S. card rewards war. Yeah, I guess the credit card companies are getting in a little bit of a bidding war there. We'll talk about it. Some credit cards with great security features. How to choose the low down payment mortgage that is right for you. There's a lot of them out there. Not all of them are right for you. And we will talk about some things to do the day you retire. Well, obviously, you want to set that first radio preset button to come back here, but we'll talk about that later. Reach us anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Do you own real estate or have assets over $150,000? Do you know one of your heirs will be the probate courts and the IRS? If you don't have a living trust, you will go through probate. Call Heritage Financial Services toll free at 1-855-434-7400 for a free review. Check us out on Facebook, Heritage Financial Service in Lake Forest, California. That's 1-855-434-7400. Again, 1-855-434-7400.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
What if your family business could help clothe a less fortunate family? Or your restaurant could feed truly hungry people? What if you could help to comfort the lonely? Plant sustainable resources where nothing has ever grown before. Or make a child's lifelong wish come true. What if all you had to do was simply do nothing more than what your business already does every day? Would you do it? Introducing Processing for a Cause, a unique program that turns a percentage of your business's credit card volume into ongoing donation dollars for nonprofit organizations and foundations. Simply switch your credit card processing provider to Processing for a Cause and begin supporting a worthy cause today. The process is simple, and the cause will change lives forever. Processing for a Cause.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs for you. You just need to reach out and give me a call at 800-306-1990. I will put you in touch with our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. How to choose the low down payment program that is right for you. That is the subject this morning. Now, here's the issue you need to remember is be aware, first and foremost, there is no free lunch. So any of the programs that you're looking at as far as low down payment, they are much, much better than rent. Every one of them. Now, what's the right one for you? Obviously, the very best of all of them, well, we'll get that in a minute, but low down payment programs have been around much longer than most people realize. Let's talk about that first. The Federal Housing Administration, that FHA loan requiring just 3.5% down, reemerged in 2008, but today, loans backed by government requiring even less down are becoming popular. And here are some of the different kinds of those low down payment loans available and what you should know about each one of them. So first off, let's talk about that FHA loan. Those are loans they are not issued by, they are insured by the Federal Housing Administration, and they require just 3.5% down payment. Very, very flexible on financial history, credit history, and debt-to-income ratios. It is the most widely known low down payment program available in the market. It is incredibly popular, and it's virtually limitless in terms of the property type, income, and location. Now remember, even though it's limitless on property type, income, and location, well, you've got the maximums on the loan value, the property, the loan amount, because it's an insurance plan. I'll explain what that means in just a minute. But it also has some limitations on the condos. Yes, you can do a condo with an FHA loan, But the condo association has to cooperate a little bit. That condo association needs to be looking and seeing, well, are they following the FHA guidelines to make sure that you are protected? The other issue, the FHA loan has two different mortgage insurances. It's got the upfront mortgage insurance premium, 1.75%, and in most instances, not all, but in most instances, that is added on to the loan amount. So if you're getting a 96.5% loan and you add that 1.75 onto it, you can see there's very little equity left in the property when you do the FHA loan. So you've got to remember, you're looking at this as not being a flip situation. You're going to buy that property and then you're going to be holding on to it because you've already got over 98%, 99% of a lien on the property. So until you get some equity, you can't even go to a real estate professional to help you sell it without being a short sale. So think about that before you buy. Again, better than renting, because if you're renting, unless you have to move very soon, you're much better off having that home ownership process. The other part of the mortgage insurance that you have is you've got to deal with the annual mortgage insurance premium. Again, that's going to be 0.85 or 0.80. Don't want to get into the weeds there on which way, how you get each of those. You can call us and I'll tell you. But again, that's going to be the annual mortgage insurance premium. You pay that monthly, a prorated portion of that every single month. And the idea there is that's going to stay there for life. It never, ever goes away unless you refinance the loan or sell the property. And again, so here's the issue with the FHA loan. Very good loan. Get you into the game, get you into the property, get you ownership, where you're going to start paying your mortgage instead of somebody else's. You get all the benefits of home ownership. You get the appreciation and the paying down the mortgage. That helps you there as well. So you're in good shape there. But the idea is to get out of it, get it refinanced as quickly as possible. Second type of a program. Conventional loans. Some conventional loans require 5% down, and in some instances, you can go to 3% down based on various qualifications. So again, you've got 3% down on some of the conventional loans. In those loans, again, you're going to have mortgage insurance. The beauty here is the mortgage insurance will go away when you've got 22% equity in the property, or when you refinance, or when you sell. All of those things are benefits for you. So the conventional loan, and again, sometimes in many instances, depending upon your credit. Now, you remember in the FHA loan, I told you that your financial history, your credit history, and your debt-to-income ratios are going to be very flexible. They're going to get a little bit tighter, not a lot, but a little bit tighter on the conventional loans. And in some instances, depending upon your credit worthiness and some of these other ratios, you're not going to have the upfront mortgage insurance premium, although you could have a split premium. Again, getting into the weeds, I don't want to do that too much. But in most instances, you're going to have a lower monthly premium. And again, you can talk. We'll give you specifics. Just give us a call. The USDA loan, this loan requires no down payment whatsoever, has income limitations and specific area locations. Now, even though it says it's a U.S. Department of Agriculture loan, that does not necessarily mean that you've got to be growing something. It's areas that are deemed agricultural. Now, there are places in the Coachella Valley where they don't grow, well, maybe they grow a few things, but there are some areas they grow nothing, and those are USDA approved. There are some areas in Riverside, San Bernardino counties that have USDA accessibility. Again, no down payment. The best loan on the market, that is obviously the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs loan, the VA loan. This is hands down the best program in the low down payment arena. The program is available to U.S. military veterans and their spouses only. Actually, you don't have to be a veteran. You can be active duty and get it as well. But you got to qualify again. They've got a little bit stricter guidelines. But again, it's a great, great program because our veterans have earned it. Down payment assistance. Some state-specific programs allow home buyers to put as little down as 0.5%. Some of them are even less than that. So the grant could be a 5% of the loan amount, which can go toward the down payment and closing costs. Now, here's where I said earlier, if you recall, no free lunch. What ends up happening, the way these programs work, is they're limited on the sources of these funding. The reason that they're limited on the sourcing on this funding is they are investors who will charge a higher interest rate. Then they're going to go and sell that loan on the open market, and they're going to take some of the proceeds of the loan and they put it into the down payment assistance, and they're going to call that a grant or a silent second. And in many instances, both of those go away at some point in the down the road. But here's the catch to it, is the interest rate at the beginning is much higher. Just had a gentleman recently I was talking to. He had a 6.5% interest rate, and just by doing a simple refi, saved about $500 or $600 a month. Huge. 1% loans. Some lenders are starting to offer mortgages for as little as 1%, and in some cases even no money down with grants that need not be repaid. These loans are backed by Fannie Mae, and the lender bears the risk. You can bank on income limitations and needing good credit scores for some of these programs. Keep in mind, the better the loan program you have, the more down payment you have, the better your chances of getting into contract. Plus, most of the low down payment loan programs available in the marketplace today, except for the FHA and a traditional 5% down conventional loan, have income limitations. And those limitations mean that the borrowing power is a certain geographic area is limited, whereas you could use a 3.5% down FHA loan or a 5% down conventional. Your odds of getting into contract would be better. So do some homework to consider. Here is some homework to consider. Do you have a down payment? If yes, where do those funds come from? Have you talked to your family about the possibility of getting gift funds for a down payment? You might be surprised how generous your family could be. If your down payment is very limited, get an honest answer from your real estate agent and lender about your ability to perform in this marketplace and what it would take to make you makes you stronger on paper. Remember, if there's a lot of offers on loans, the sellers are going to want somebody that's got that fast pass pre-approval. Just a thought for you. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, things to do the day you retire, and some credit cards with great security features. We'll talk about all this and more. Obviously, we talk about more. Remember, you can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Isn't it time you found out the truth about FHA-insured home equity conversion? No, it's not your grandfather's reverse mortgage. This just may be the finest financial planning strategy available for all homeowners of retirement age. Helping protect what you've earned is the job of your board of directors with continued education. Major research has shown that using a HECM will significantly enhance the success rate of a retiree's portfolio and legacy. Please allow us to educate. For your complimentary consultation, call Jay Kaplan at 949-300-3855. That's 949-300-3855.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. And as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. You've got to make the phone call. That's your part of the transaction. Credit Sanitizer, they've got a lot of good programs. They've got a lot of good education. We've even got a guide that they've put out. One of our sponsors has put out a guide that may be great for you. Part of it has to do with the fact that it's just a lot of work to make sure you get your credit repaired and you do it the right way. There's a lot of wrong ways to do it. You got to make sure you're getting it done the right way. So that is our friends over at Credit Sanitizer. I just lost the copy of the report here that I wanted to talk to you about. 4 credit cards with great security features. So there's a lot of crooks out there. They're lurking in the physical and virtual world, looking for ways to access your credit card number to commit identity theft. Whether you shopped online or in brick and mortar stores, it's wise to take steps to protect yourself against fraud. Credit card companies have many tools to help combat credit card fraud and sometimes offer additional security features to protect against them. So here are some of the cards that have some of these great features. Discover It. They've got a Freeze It feature. Cardholders can freeze their card within seconds using Discover's website or mobile app. This way, if you can't locate your card, you can freeze it and look around before reporting it lost or stolen. If your card is misplaced, Discover offers free overnight card replacement. Cardholders also won't be held liable for any unauthorized purchases. The drawback: to maximize cash back, you'll have to do the work of activating and tracking rotating purchase categories. Blue Cash every day from American Express. It's got 3% cash back up to $6,000 spent at supermarkets, 2% cash back at gas stations and department stores, 1% on everything else. $100 to sign up for it. And after spending $1,000 in the first 3 months, card membership, it's free. Security features: if you have multiple cards for authorized users on your account, you can set a spending limit for each card's billing period. That way your authorized user or conniving friend can't rack up a huge balance. American Express won't hold you accountable for any unauthorized charges. And the drawbacks: if you don't spend a lot at supermarkets or gas stations, you may want to look for another cash back card. The Citi Thank You Preferred. Get 2 points of spending on dining and entertainment, 1 point on everything else. Security features: if your credit card is lost or stolen, Citi will send you a new card for free and provide an emergency cash advance. To protect you online, Citi can issue temporary credit card numbers for secure online purchases. Finally, if you become the victim of identity theft, a Citi specialist will help you contact TransUnion to put a fraud alert on your credit report and help you complete a police report. Cardholders are not held liable for unauthorized purchases, and the drawbacks: if you use your credit card for meat and potato spending and rarely use it on a night out, this card won't deliver as much value. And the Bank AmeriCard credit card, no rewards on this one, but it's got a shop safe security feature. You can receive temporary credit card numbers to safely shop online. If abnormal spending patterns are detected, Bank of America will block the card's use and contact you to discuss potential fraudulent activity. You'll never be held accountable for unauthorized transactions. And the drawbacks on this one: it's a very basic card without any rewards to speak of. Federal law states that you can't be held accountable for more than $50 in unauthorized purchases if your card is lost or stolen. But cardholders concerned with security should look for card issuers that offer zero liability for unauthorized charges. To further protect yourself, consider cards that go above and beyond in the realm of security and protect you in areas where you may be particularly vulnerable. Let's look quickly at, holy cow, we don't even have look at our time today. It's amazing how quickly our broadcast has taken off. Again, just think about some of these different issues that we talk about. And again, we're here on a regular basis to help you. That's our mission with the broadcast. No money made on this program. The idea here is we just want to get you the information you need to make safe, secure decisions. And we want to make sure you set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Have a great day. Talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.